I'm from Rome, which makes me now an ancient Roman. I said before that photography is dying, dead, I even said. But the truth is that it's having a rebirth as an art form. I kind of invented this kind of studios, and that was 1983 in Milano. I was working day and night. And I was, at the time, I had a choice. Either you had your own studio as a photographer, or you were working in the studios of the magazines. So now I'm working day and night, I'm making some money, and I'm thinking, now I have to do my studio. So I'm more proud that I have the money to build my studio. And then I asked myself, so what should I do? Should I do a daylight studio or a dark studio? Damn, I want both. That's two studios. Do I want a psych or do I want a studio without a psych? How can I decide? That's 4 studios. And what kind of lighting am I going to use? Am I going to put strobes, or am I going to put HMIs or tungsten, or now you would say LEDs? Oh my God, how can I decide, But I couldn't afford 6 studios and all the equipment in the world. It wouldn't have made any sense. And then I said, but I'm nobody special. If I have this problem, it's very likely that everybody else has the same problem, but they didn't think about it. So I opened Industria in Milano. My first camera, I have my second camera. The first camera was my uncle's. I borrowed it from him. My second camera was a Nikon F. The artists are the ones that have a free mind, a free spirit. And that role is today more needed than ever. That was very simple. The reason why I started fashion, since I started as a photojournalist, is because I was spending more time selling my photos as a photojournalist than shooting them. No, it wasn't about making the money, it was about saving money, it was about find your own identity through your work and then put it back into your work. It was almost 10 years, I had done the studios in Milano, and I did a lot of things wrong. I keep doing wrong things, but at the time it was a lot of them. Opening the studios, in running them, but the end result was that I learned how to do it. So then I said, okay, now I learned how to do it. How can I exploit this knowledge and share it with my colleagues? And where should I do that eventually? And then I start seeing articles on the newspapers that talked about economic crisis and financial crisis in the US, right in 1990. And everybody was running away from the US, particularly in the fashion business. Photographers would leave to Paris. Models agencies would open in Paris, but with the idea of closing their operation in New York and go abroad. So I said, that's where we have to go. So we have to open in New York, because in New York, there is always someone ready to acknowledge an entrepreneur. Even if it's a small thing as Industria, we get the attention of people that will respect what we're doing, because we do it in a moment of need. It's easy to do things when things are easy, but America and New York, they know how to acknowledge that effort, and so I came over here and walked the town all up and down, up and down, up and down, wondering where we should do this. And then I ended up in this meatpacking district, rats as big as my arm were running around, blood everywhere. But the charm of this place was unbelievable, unbelievable. And I was walking with a friend of mine that was a real estate broker. And then I was standing at the corner of Washington Street and West 12, and I said, it's here. I just feel it, it's gotta be here. I have never thought of Industria as a success. Never, ever. I've been always looking at Industria here as something needed, that we had to keep needed.